Hey, Kentucky, welcome back. Time for a game of Do We Care? It is the Mother's Day theme, and I brought my favorite mother, my own mother, Karen Green Blondell from Middlesboro, Kentucky. Mom, it is great to have you. You look wonderful. Isn't she the best?
We just want you to know, nobody blames you. You did the best you could.
Indeed.
Get away from my mom.
We're going to pray and bring a covered dish.
All right, will you get away from her? Mom, what's up first?
Well, Apple says it will give $200 million to Corning Incorporated so it can invest in its Harrodsburg plant that makes glass screens for iPhones and iPads. Matthew and Lee, do we care?
Yeah, the thing said Matt. She calls me Matthew. This is obviously a great news. Any news about investment that will help jobs in Kentucky, I don't care where it is great. Apple, you couldn't have a company that does better than Apple. So I'm very happy about this. Good for Corning, good for Harrodsburg, good for everybody in that part of the state.
This is part of Trump making America great again.
You got to make it political. Here I'm being very gracious and saying that's great news about America. And you got to sit there and you got to make it political. That's what you.
It's great news.
No, it is great
period.
news. And it's great for Harrodsburg. This was a company that has done well there. 400 jobs that will probably be increased.
Thank you, Apple.
Thank you very much to Apple. What's next?
Kentucky's Attorney General is focusing on an effort to protect you if you commit to a long-term gym membership and the business ends up closing. Do we care about this, guys?
I do, because all these places, they get you because they're a little corrupt, these little gyms. They get you to sign up, you have to pay a year, and then they might shut down and you don't get your money back. Good for the Attorney General. Membership fees in gyms are a hidden way to bleed you dry.
Yeah, thank you, Attorney General Bashir, because I'm still locked up in a Blockbuster deal. I've lost my 401k. I wish he came a little quicker.
Are you still doing a monthly Blockbuster?
I got attorneys, everything's
That's exactly. Listen, these gyms, they pop up everywhere.
You're right.
And especially in small towns, they take the money and then go. Nice job. This is a big problem in small towns across the state. Good for you. Good decision. What's next?
The KHSAA state football finals are moving to Kroger Field. Matthew and Lee, do we care about that?
Good decision for Kentucky. I don't want to call it Kroger Field, but I guess we have to. But these games should be in Lexington. It's a centralized part in the state. That's where it should be. I think it's a very good decision.
When was the last time we've hosted that?
It's been a long time. It was in Louisville forever. It's been in Bowling Green the last 4 or 5 years. I think it's been like since the late 70s. Since
I hear about it and I go, well, I'm not going to drive all the way over there.
But if it was here, would you go?
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
I've been to that a couple times. It's a lot of fun. You sometimes get 2 or 3 games in one day. This will be good for Lexington. Good decision. What's next?
Evander Holyfield has announced the return of championship-level boxing to Louisville with a title fight at Freedom Hall next month. Matthew and Lee, do we care?
I don't, because I don't think I'll go to boxing, but I do think it's a cool thing for the state. Holyfield's going to do a series of fights in honor of Ali. They say it's going to be fights for championship belts. We haven't had real boxing in Kentucky. Mike Tyson, I think, fought here 10 or 12 years ago. So, yes, it's obviously a good thing.
It makes a lot of sense because of the Ali connection. Holyfield's not going to fight, though.
No, right? I don't think Holyfield is fighting. Evander, I think his time has passed. Do you like going to boxing?
I've never been to a live boxing match, no. But I do catch myself watching it, like on HBO.
For all this stuff, it'll just depend on if they get good fights. If they get good fights, people will show up. If they don't, probably won't.
Louisville's the perfect venue.
It is. Louisville's perfect. What's next?
Talk show host Steve Harvey is defending a memo he sent to his staff telling them not to meet with him in his dressing room or in the hall unless he speaks to them directly. Do we care about this, guys?
This is known as the Lee Cruz memo. It's what he gives out here at the station. This really is a bad look. Every time I talk about this on my radio show, people get really mad at Steve Harvey. But do you have any sympathy for him, or do you think he was just being a big deal?
Maybe it was misconstrued. I don't know, but it
doesn't
sound like a guy of the people, does it? And I've heard stories behind the scenes. I got a buddy who knew Steve Harvey, and he told me some horrific story about how he blew him off once. So I don't know. This probably... And I like Steve Harvey's comedy. I really do.
But do you get to a point where you're so famous that, like, people he won't leave him alone? You have no sympathy for Steve Harvey?
Not when you put it in writing.
Yeah, it didn't sound good. It was a bad look for Steve Harvey.
You know, like I do. I have somebody else do it for me.
Mom, what's next?
A best-selling novelist is imagining how Hillary Clinton's life might have turned out had she never married Bill Clinton. Do we care about this novel?
I don't. But would be kind of interesting. I think ultimately it was probably beneficial for both of them that they ended up marrying each other. Yeah. Oh, I will go ahead. You don't get a chance to do this anymore since she lost. You have a Hillary Clinton.
Well, I know how this novel turns out. She's the super of an apartment complex.
Oh, that's really harsh. You don't think that the law school graduate Hillary Clinton who went
she's
to Yale would have had
she's
success?
a very intelligent, accomplished lady. But being married to the president gets you a long way, Hoss.
I completely agree. Just like being on The Apprentice gets you a long way as well. There are lots of things that help you make your career better,
Didn't help Gary Busey.
It did not help Gary Busey. What's next, Mom?
And last, KFC is hoping you'll pick up a Colonel Sanders romance novella for Mother's Day. Tender Wings of Desire is available for free as an ebook on Amazon. Do we care about this promotion, guys?
I'd be all right if I didn't hear my mom say the phrase "tender wings of desire" ever again.
She sounded kind of sexy when she read that.
I have to say, I love you, Mom, but I don't know that I want to hear my mom use the phrase "tender wings of desire." And as a matter of fact, to our producers that made my mom say the phrase "tender wings of desire," I'm not very happy with you right now, and I will make sure.
She's a beautiful lady. That's all I want.
I'm going to hug my mother here for Mother's Day. Get away from here, Lee Cruz. Thank you very much. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, Hey Kentucky, we'll be right back.